I started loving myself. I started paying more attention to myself. I recently started just stop giving more to others than I was giving myself. And my sister, my baby sister, actually just brought it to my attention, and she was very blunt. And she said, I want to see you do for you. I want to see you stop doing so much for other people, the kids, the husband, the people in the community, the job, the business, all of that. She's like, I want to see you do more for you. And when my 30-year-old sister said that to me, I was like, there's a problem going on here.
Holding me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ari Squires, and welcome back to another episode of the Release the Chains podcast, where we have real, raw, and revolutionary discussions helping people just like you release your mental, emotional, financial, and generational chains. And so today, I am so excited. This is my first time having two guests in the building, and I'm so excited because we have been conversing. We've been doing girl talk and just really getting to know each other because this young lady here, Nameica,
Correct.
I just met her for the first time in person. And then Timekia, I've known her for quite a while. And so I'm excited that she's here. So I'm going to introduce them, and then we're all going to just talk about a few things that we need to talk about as women. So let me first introduce you to Dr. Timekia Rahshell. She is a 13-year Army veteran, holistic female wellness expert, inspirational speaker, author, and life strategist, also pursuing her second doctorate in traditional Chinese medicine, which I think is amazing. This inspiring woman has the drive and burning desire to be the change that she wishes to see in the world today. After battling her own gynecological issues while active duty military, she set out on her own holistic quest, and that yielded amazing results. Her results led to her own journey of obtaining more education and more certifications in order to assist over 1,200 women in helping them obtain hold on, let me go back because I have all my words jumbled here. She sought out, go back. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. Assist over 1,200 women with gynecological concerns and 58 infertility clients. And counting. That's dope. That's dope. She's going to talk about that too. She was granted an early release approval from active military Army to follow her life's purpose. She truly exemplifies the characteristics of an influential leader and has earned most award rewards and recognition to include the Joint Service Commendation Medal, hope I said that right, for outstanding leadership from the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America. She's an ambitious leader, and Dr. Timekia Rahshell is celebrated as a great source of inspiration and knowledge by utilizing her 3-step signature process of ushering others into physical and mental healing. So let's welcome Timekia Rahshell. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. So now I'm going to introduce you to Nameica Craig. She's a dynamic transformational speaker who prides herself on empowering individuals to live their best life fabulously, honey. Through self-discovery, self-awareness, self-assurance, wholeness, and unapologetically on purpose. She is the CEO of Nameica Speaks & Co., which is a personal development and content creation services company where she facilitates empowerment events and provides creative writing services for women in business. What else did I have here? She also has many awards: the 2016 Phenomenal Woman and 2018 Bold Lifestyle Award recipient. And she's dedicated to being a confident catalyst, shaping future leaders, and strives to build and leave a legacy of excellence that will profoundly impact society and many generations to come. So thank you, honey, for coming here. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. So what brought about this particular roundtable, right, was that I have a friend, and he shared with me that it's been years that he and his wife, they don't have sex. The only time that they have sex, look, we jumping right in. You hear me? He and his wife only have sex on his birthday, right? Just that's it. And they've been married over 30-something years. And when I heard it, I was shocked. Yes. And it wasn't because, I'm having sex every day. That's not because that ain't the case. But I was really surprised to hear that. And so I shared it on social media. Of course, I didn't talk about who he is, of course, but I shared that, and I made a statement that, okay, married people, we need to be having sex because it's such a vital part of of a relationship. Even just having sex with ourselves, you know what I'm saying, is important. But to have that, that unity and that soul connection through sexual intercourse in a marriage, a relationship, whatever, is so gratifying, I felt. So I was really shocked. And so it was like people came from people I didn't even know I was Facebook friends with. Okay? They came and sharing and posting and sharing with me that, oh no, this is normal, Ari. Oh, wow. Like this is pretty common. And Nameica came on and said, yeah, I that's me. And she was the only woman that said that would admit it. And I was like, thank you, sis. I need to do a podcast about this because this is so educational. And then Timekia hit me up in my inbox or maybe on the post. Yes. And you said something about there's a reason why some women are not feeling free to want to have sex. And you share some things with me that I'm going to let you share because you're the professional in that space. So can you share with me your personal story and why you and your spouse, I don't know if you guys are still married or not. What happened for the sex to stop? Because it had to be something going on.
Well, this was my second marriage, and the experience is from my first marriage. And first, let me tip my hat a little bit to say this is very common, and I would not have believed it if I would not have experienced it myself. I'm a very sexual person, as many women are. But there are things that can happen, in the course of a marriage that will cut off the flow. And it could be just sometimes stress. Sometimes you find yourself not attracted to your spouse anymore because of the way they treat you.
That's true.
Some women have childhood traumas. I did not have those traumas, but I know women, as a writer, I've written stories for women that you just wouldn't believe. And those women carry that trauma into their adulthood. That's one reason a lot of women will not continue to have intercourse and intimacy with their spouses is because they're dealing with some stuff. They still have chains. And my personal experience was the trauma in the marriage. It was what was happening between us. And he would make statements. He knew that I was a very sexual person, but I became unsexual. I became hindered in that area because of what was going through my mind, how I was feeling, my emotions, who he was, how I saw him, how he treated me, all of the above. So those are some of the reasons that I know. And then from reading and writing other people's stories, molestation, mental illness, and the women issues. So as I shared with you, I also suffer from fibroids. In my present day and time, because of the medication I'm on, I'm not as aroused as I used to be. It has an effect. So there could be many reasons, but I think the majority of the reasons why people are not having sex in their marriages is because of what's going on in the marriage. Because all the health issues, all the other stuff can be worked out. But when you are not emotionally connected to your spouse, when you don't have a chemistry, that really can't be worked out.
And I understand that. Like, even when I made my post, I said, if it's not a health reason, y'all need to be getting it in. But then, like you said, trauma, right? And then now I know you had healed yourself from fibroids. Did fibroids also affect your sexuality?
Well, I would say with the fibroids, I didn't discover them until after I was married or after I was divorced.
Okay.
However, I was previously married, and yes, I do agree with you. The trauma that we experience and those things that we have a tendency to sweep underneath the rug and kind of coexist with them, they begin to lie dormant, and it's a turnoff. And not understanding and understanding that sacred energy exchange, which is sex, is what we actually should be doing, and allowing ourselves to really connect to our partner on a higher level to be able to set an intention for even why we come together anyway. So most of the time, a lot of women suffer from that, and men too, because the truth of the matter is a lot of men don't seek out for support or help or to vent about those things that really they deal with, but don't talk about to other people. So for me, with the fibroids, once I was able to cleanse myself, it was also like an energetic, emotional thing that I had to go through as well, which says, okay, I've been holding on to a pathology in my body, 3 of them to be exact, 3 of them. And what else has this caused me to hold is in trauma in my womb space, where I've been disconnected to myself, calling down there, just not having a relationship with me. And it woke up something inside of me to be able to reconnect with myself, and then doing things like doing meditation, sensual movements, goddess, training, and learning how to just be the woman that I am. And another thing I will tell you to my military queens, listen, we get into the military, they teach us how to be this masculine woman, right? So when I went in, I was initially, all feminine, everything. And they used to tease me about,
they toughen you up a little.
Like, when she runs, she's switched. And I was like, switch. So, and over the course of time, I had to develop that hardness about myself, especially as you move up in rank. And what I found myself doing was, even in my marriage, I was operating more in that masculine energy. Yes. And that too has a role to play.
But you know what, speaking of that masculine energy, and I think about it we think about generational change, a lot of black women were single mothers. And a lot of black women had to tap into that masculine energy because they had no choice. When you raising bad kids, I know my mom, she had to tap into that. And so I wonder, is that also affecting the sensuality, the sexuality that we have? Because that's also a generational change that I like to talk about. You get what I'm saying? So have you seen that with the clients that you work with as well?
All the time, especially women that are in those leadership roles, and then my military ladies. So with them having the whole, I always say, if you don't allow because we have this thing where we say, I'm a strong, independent woman, right?
Yeah.
And so I have to correct them. No, queen, you're not a strong, independent woman. You need to realize it's important to be interdependent. It's okay to ask for support and help. And if you allow others to assist you with carrying the load, then you won't have to feel like all the weight is on you. And sometimes because of that stress and the weight that we carry, we have a tendency to create pathologies and illnesses in our bodies from the weight, and then we neglect self, and then we're too tired for copulation with our partners, and it kind of masks on top of each other.
All of that.
So what did you do to get back to yourself?
I started loving myself. I started paying more attention to myself. I recently started just stop giving more to others than I was giving myself. And my sister, my baby sister, actually just brought it to my attention, and she was very blunt. And she said, I want to see you do for you. I want to see you stop doing so much for other people, the kids, the husband, the people in the community, the job, the business, all of that. She's like, I want to see you do more for you. And when 30-year-old sister said that to me. I was like, there's a problem going on here.
But you know, that tells us that the newer generation, they're getting this knowledge so early. Like, they're like, dang, I wish I would have known then what we know now.
Yes.
So loving yourself.
Loving myself more. Spending time with myself. I have set the standards in my household for me time. Meaning that if I am spending time with me, if I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, I don't want to be bothered. Don't bother me. You had your time, you had your time, and you've had your time.
I love it. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and dive more into this. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We'll be right back.
No more chains holding me.
Hey, one thing I know is that entrepreneurs need a team. You want to grow, you want to scale, you want to not overwhelm yourself and run yourself to the ground. You have to invest in at least an assistant at the very least. And 3C Concierge, they assist entrepreneurs with scaling their businesses and events by overseeing the administrative and project planning stuff, all that stuff that, you may not want to do, you don't have time to do, or don't know how to do. So you won't be so overwhelmed. They help you attract your ideal clients and they help you get the job done on time. So please contact c3concierge.com and book a free consultation so you can get the help you need to grow and scale your business.
No more chains holding me.
And I'm so glad that you talked about loving yourself, because it's one of those things where now it seems like it's popular or trendy to talk about self-love. But self-love is a real thing. And a lot of women have difficulties, I see, like, because I travel alone. Like, I'll go and out because I like spending time with me. I enjoy my company. But for a lot of women, we're so used to pouring and giving into others. So what steps, because it's easy to say what I did. What steps can you provide? Because I know you do personal development with women. What steps are you providing your clients to get into that space of self-love?
Everything starts with mindset.
Okay.
It starts with a decision. It starts with awareness. Self-discovery, when I say self-discovery and self-awareness, I mean really turning inward, really tapping into know what your weaknesses are, really admitting those weaknesses, because all of this hype and the cliche self-love, that's not what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
I'm just really talking about saying this is enough. I want to see something different. I want to feel something different. I want to be somebody different. And if you tap in, and I do a workshop called Tap Into the Power of You. And what tap into the power of you means is turn inward. You discover what you like, what you don't like, what you need, what you don't need, what you want to tolerate, what you don't want to tolerate. And the list goes on. And once we tap into that, then we can go to all the other steps like doing yoga and meditation. But it starts with that decision to say, I want to do something different and I want to feel something different, because everything is about the feeling. And we're not talking about that feel good feeling, because healing hurts. Breaking the chains hurts.
It sure does.
Break it down.
But it's a process that
it's a process that you have to go through.
Yeah.
You have to go through it. And if you don't, what I found is you will continue to repeat the patterns. And I did a whole post on my social media about that yesterday. And I was very transparent about this new season that I'm in. It's about me and it's not selfish. Right?
But it's okay to be selfish though.
It's not the type of selfish where it says I ain't thinking about nobody else but me.
Okay.
It's the type of selfish that says if I don't put me first and do what's good for me, I can't do what's good for anyone else.
That's it.
I can't be a good wife if I'm not good to myself. I can't be a good mom if I'm not good to myself. I can't be a good businesswoman if I'm not handling the business over here. I can't be a good lover if I'm not loving myself and taking care of me. Right?
That's good. And I love that because it's so crucial. So, but I want to ask you a question. You mentioned you did a cleanse.
Yes.
Can you talk about that and what that process is?
Okay, so with cleaning the body, and it kind of goes with what she was saying, you have to, number one, be able to identify the problem. So for me, it was more of mental release first, and then I went through the physical release, like literally having to forgive myself. Had to write notes, all of that, you know,
Yeah.
burn it,
Yeah.
the ugly cry, all of the nine, you know, meditating. And so then also doing a total transformation where I had been used to eating and doing things a certain way. So I had to change up the way I was eating. Think about, okay, this is truly my temple, because I was raised in a church. And let me be honest with you. When I made that transition to go more and deeper within myself, I discovered something that I had never known when I was in the church. And that was that I have the power within me to create anything I truly desire. And so with that being said, my womb space is a space of power. But because I had so many pathologies and gunk and trauma and pain and all of the stuff that I previously gone through in my life, it was time for me to get that out in order to live a vibrant life full of light and love. Okay?
Right.
So through the cleansing process, I was able to release all of that. And I was by myself on the island with 2 children in Puerto Rico.
So what was the cleansing process? Was it the steaming? Was it the
It was the
vitamins?
mental. It was a mental release. The physical part was more so of the steaming. So, but I had to do the mental work first.
The mental work.
Yes, and then I had to go into doing the vaginal steaming, which was definitely steaming on hands and feet, hands and knees for some time for 3 months consecutive. And the lady that actually assisted me, she wasn't a certified practitioner, but this was something they practice in their culture. And so with that being said, I went in for my surgery date, didn't change that. And they went to, before they did the surgery, it was customary to do the ultrasound and discovered that all of the fibroids were gone just from doing the work and doing also setting the intention. So it was an amazing experience.
And so now you're helping women do the same thing.
Yes, to do the same thing.
How does that feel? Like, because you know, we were talking about being a part of the impact of this world, the change. You said here in your bio, you want to be a part of the change you want to see in the world, right? And I'm very conscious and intentional about being a part of the change I want to see in the world. So not only did you heal yourself, you took what you learned, and honey, thank you, and you're passing it on to other women. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. It always brings chills over my body.
Yeah, I'm getting chills.
And to see
queens
queens truly that has come before me, broken, torn, beat down, going through things in their life one way, and then seeing their journey within 30 days, and she's full of light and love. And then even those that I have had women that have come in, told she wouldn't conceive, she's on the verge of her marriage ending, and she don't know what else to do. 5 years in marriage, and now he wants to walk away because you can't conceive. The feeling is absolutely amazing, but more so, I'm always in gratitude because I realize that I'm just a vessel here, utilized to be able to assist others and usher them into their journey from my own experience. So it's an amazing experience and journey.
Kudos to you, sister.
That's powerful.
Because you're, you know, they say you heal a woman, you heal a nation.
Yes.
You know, and it starts from inside. So something you talked about that really touched me and I wrote down was about being. Many years ago, I hired a life coach back in 2012, 2013. And she taught me, she was like, you always want this, you want that. You're always looking ahead and you always, and I still do. Because I'm a planner, right? I'm just a natural planner. I have visualizations and places and things that I want to feel, ways that I want to feel in my life. So I still do that. But she said, you got to focus on just being. Just being present, just being in the moment. And you talked about being different and just being. Can you talk about that and expound on that, and even how that taps into your sexuality?
Sure. Let me comment on something you said about the cleansing and growing up in the church, and then we're gonna
absolutely, honey.
I'm also detoxing from religion.
There's a difference.
Detoxing from religion, the ways of old, the things that I were taught, the traditions, the cliches, all of that has much to do with our growth or non-growth. It has much to do with our thought process, how we manifest, how we live, how we feel. It's an awakening, a revelation, right? A revelation that takes place. And I did this while you were talking, but you didn't see me. The heart, as well as the womb, mind, and then our core, and then our womb. So all of that is tied together. Well, just being, I found that because we are visionaries and we see far beyond what the average eye can see, and we think and imagine and we dream and we know what we want and how we want it, when we want it. Sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves and not be present in the moment.
Right.
We can, it was me too. Just always thinking ahead, like what's next? What can I do now? Let me create this.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference when you get out of that, because then you can show that gratitude and be present in the moment.
That is the highest form of gratitude. Is to just be. The highest form of gratitude is being in the present, right? It's being grateful for what is now.
Yes.
And just because we're visionaries, it doesn't mean that we aren't grateful, because we can see ahead and we already know what our path is like. But we can enjoy life better if we take one day at a time.
Yes.
If we just be, and if we enjoy the moment. And that takes a lot of pressure off of us, and then it eases our mind, and then it allows us to be feminine.
That's not a good transition,
It allows us to be intimate. It allows us to feel free, and we can flow.
Yes.
And then you get with the right partner, and you have that connectivity. And
let's talk about that too,
chemistry.
about having the right partner. Because you was talking about being in a relationship you in, obviously it wasn't the right partner, because there was a lot of trauma, and we've all been in a relationship where it was not the right partner, right? Drama and trauma, and they are two different things, okay?
Drama and trauma. Drama that created trauma.
And the trauma creates more trauma.
Exactly, and it's stressful as hell.
Very.
No one can thrive in that type of environment, and we've all been there. And
Or heal.
And heal from it.
You can't heal.
You're right. I love that. So having the right partner, because I've been married. I've been with my husband for 22 years this month, I think, or next month. And so I've been so blessed to have somebody to have that compatibility with. That's why I was like, what? Y'all ain't, excuse my language. But sometimes there's saying, right? And there's making love.
Yes.
All of that, right? All of it is intertwined. And so it was kind of like, wow. So to hear that. But I do believe, though, that once we heal, once we tap into, and it's not even once we heal, because sometimes we can get the right partner. That will heal with us. And that was my husband.
Yes.
That's why I'm so forever indebted to him, because he took me in my brokenness and helped me heal my trauma. You get what I'm saying? And so we just have that foundation that's so strong. But it does have to do with attracting. Now, I know you're in a new relationship.
Yes.
And so attracting that right partner. Can you talk about that? And how it's our responsibility, okay?
Yes.
Ladies, it's your responsibility what you attract. Talking about he ain't no good. And
Yes, stop it.
That's your fault.
Yes. So after many years of going through the trauma, drama, and all of the above, I really have to be honest with you all, is to look self in the mirror. What have I done?
Yes.
Why am I attracting these things into my life? It's not about him, because if it was, then I would have everything I truly desire. So Timekia Rahshell, what do you need to do to fix you?
There you go.
And so once I was able to be real with self with that mirror, and then start to peel back those layers, and then say, wait a minute, I see where there were opportunities for this man to truly be the man that we need or we desire in our life. But I wouldn't allow him to be, because I was operating that masculine energy again. Turning and shutting them off. So I had to go through that process too. And then also understand, like, what is it that I truly want to be from myself? What do I want to be? So when I desire whatever I desire to be, I had to be for me first. And then I had to also say that when later on comes, that I'm going to attract that in my partner.
Yes.
And that was the truth. I'm just being honest about it. That was the truth. And so going through those steps, the steps that I did take was first cleaning my womb, because I had a lot of stuff that was built up there, trauma and things that we experienced. Then affirming, building myself up once I forgave myself, building myself up, working on me, making sure that when I do meet that person that I attract into my life, that it will be a pure reflection of who I am.
Yes.
Because not attract someone that is something more than who you are.
Yes.
They should be a mirror.
Yes.
Now, there is a such thing that I believe about twin flames, you know, those that help. And then sometimes there's those that are that we call the yin and the yang, you know, the positive and the negative, right? Those experiences.
Let's talk about that twin flame really quick, because there may be some people listening or watching that are not familiar with a twin flame. Okay. What's your definition?
My definition of a twin flame is a partner that's going to help you to elevate. Elevate in your spirituality, elevate in other areas of your life. So it may not be that you always see eye to eye on things, but you create a balance. Short, sweet, to the point.
And then everything just flows.
And everything, absolutely.
You know, because even though, you know, I speak to mediums and all that, and I get everything read, and I get my charts read and all that. And so I really feel like my husband is my twin flame because we flow naturally. It's just like a natural flow of energy between us, and it ain't perfect, of course.
Right, nobody,
nothing.
but I, like you say, attract what you put out. So where are you at now in your space?
But before you go there, let me say something else about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we talk about attracting, another thing, queens, that we need to understand is to stop getting that mindset about I'm hustling and I'm grinding.
Oh, that's a whole.
That's another. I mean, that's another subject in itself. But listen, when you start to align truly with yourself, you will truly be able to attract, and that can be as feminine as you desire. But I love that post you made the other day about being a tomboy.
Yeah, I am a tomboy, but I'm still feminine.
But she is still, look
feminine.
How beautiful she is.
Oh, thank
still
you.
So feminine at the same time. So you create that balance.
You do.
So just go within yourself and align and be able to attract that into your life.
I love it. All right,
so
guys,
that aligns with what I'm going to say.
Yeah, when we come back. We're going to come back. Yes, hold that thought. We'll be right back, you guys.
No more chains holding me.
Hi, I'm Coach Ari Squires, and I'm here to talk to you today briefly about creating marketing magic, right? I believe in magic, and especially believe in marketing magic. As a business coach, a brand manager, I help my clients increase their brand awareness and increase their profits through strategic business coaching and brand management. So I manage brands and I help them, build their equity, get booked for speaking engagements and all kinds, sell their courses and all these different things that a lot of people just don't have the time to do. So marketing magic is like crucial, and so there's so many different ways to create this magic. It's all about client attraction and saying the right things and positioning yourself in the right places and doing all the right things online and offline. But a part of creating marketing magic is really making sure that your brand... Wait, stop. I'm not going to give it to you all right here, but you can get your top 10 marketing mistakes and how to create marketing magic. And I'm going to throw in a bonus brand checklist all for free. All you have to do is text brand to 202-410-0438. Go ahead and get your free brand equity building products today.
No more chains holding me.
All right, welcome back. So before we took that break, we were asking Nameica, I'm sorry, I have to look how she says her name, Nameica, where she is now. Where are you at now?
Right now, I am rediscovering myself. So a lot of what we're talking about, the revelation, that word came to me earlier this year, and I heard clean slate. And if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I did this whole confidence campaign where I revealed my hair loss story, where I wore weave for 33 years and I covered it up, and I did a ball reveal. So yes, girl, I'm balling here, but tonight I choose hair. Yes. The choice. So I have the freedom of choice, but I am in this phase of life where I am discovering who I am on a deeper level. I wrote a book called Girl, Affirm Yourself. When you master one area of your life, there's always another level that you need to master. Absolutely. And self-discovery for me right now, as I stated before, is about me not allowing myself to give more from my cup. I have to give from my overflow from now on. So I don't give from my portion anymore. I give from my excess, right?
And I know that makes you feel so much better.
It feels damn good. Like, girl.
Like a whole new woman.
It's really, truly girl for me. It's on a whole other dimension now. But where I am right now in my relationship, I'm setting boundaries that I didn't set at the beginning of this marriage. I am setting new standards. I'm being honest. Whereas there were areas, you know, when you meet someone and you have the cover girl on and he has this representative, and I am just being me and free. It's free. Yeah, it's free. So that's where I am right now. Free.
I love that. That's good. You're releasing them chains.
I'm releasing the chains.
I love that.
I'm free. So I'm in a growth spurt, and I believe elevation is taking place. And there is something that I need to do within before I can get to that space. So I'm enjoying the ride.
That's good.
I'm in transition, and you know, sometimes transition is rocky.
Yes.
Some days are high, some days are low, some are good, some are bad. But it's a part of my story for whatever is next.
I love that, girl.
And you embrace it.
I embrace it. I embrace it. I'm loving it. It's like when 40 hit, but now 43, it's something else. I feel a shift at 40. Now I'm feeling another shift at 43.
And I have these that, and I didn't want to really dive too deep into them today, because I always dive into them on every one of my episodes. But part of my 7-step process to releasing the chains is evolving. And it's something that we're constantly always doing. And I'm hearing this evolve, because 40 was an evolution. 43 is a new evolution. And I love what you said about embracing it, because we got to embrace the rocky, the hard stuff, and the good stuff. But I've really come to this point where I'm really appreciative of the rocky moments, and I kind of embrace those moments a little bit more, because there's always a lesson in it. You hear what I'm saying? I always learn something about myself. I learn something about other people. And then it's like this whole thing was like, I'm in this place, and I've been here for a while now, since I've done the work to heal and work on myself and work on my self-mastery. I'm noticing what I'm attracting to me in my business, in my life, my girlfriends, just everything is different.
It's
I'm
different.
I rock this to me because of that embracing, because of that work, because of that being, because that was hard for me, because I grew up with a mom who was always hustling to take care of us, you know what I mean, and she wanted to attain what she wanted to attain, and I'm living in that legacy, but I had to get into that part of being. And so because I'm attracting women like you and people that I'm meeting on social media, and it's just been a wonderful thing. So you talked about being, or who was talking about what I want to be? No, something about someone said something, I can't remember. Maybe I'm losing my mind. But you know what? That's okay. I want to go on to this. Let's talk about, I have a question here about women owning who they are, because I think that a lot of women forget. Because of generational chains, our stories, our trauma. Can you talk about owning our power and even our femininity, our sexuality, or just the power that, you know, we have? Because women forget, and I say they forget, and I was talking to my assistant about this earlier, about those red flags. And I talked to all my girlfriends about this. Those red flags, when you meet somebody, or it can be business, friendship, or with a man, right? We see the flags, and we ignore the flags. I think it's because we don't truly know who we are.
We don't trust ourselves.
And that's because when we were growing up, everything was force-fed us traditionally. So we never had the opportunity to get into that true theta realm, to be creative, because we were, as a child, we started out being creative, and then that was snatched from us once we got into grade school. So it just kind of piled on as we got older and more mature. So when you get to this level now, it's like, okay, I got to unlearn and relearn again. I got to reconnect with self. And then you'll be able to identify who you truly are. And it's like, wait a minute. Had I known what I know today, all of these things that I went back in my 20s and experienced, I wouldn't have
We
dealt
would have
with.
skipped all that.
Yeah, my vision would have been clearer, and you would have been able to identify things that you could do at that time in your life to even be able to manifest. And then not only that, one thing I'm a firm believer is that when young girls grow up, I think that there should be some type of course or something that teaches her about sacred femininity. Because growing up in the church, they always say, "Oh, don't fornicate. You know, clutch your pearls. You know, take care of yourself." But why? Why should I do that?
But that's false because everybody's doing it.
Exactly.
The
But
people
they're
who are
not
telling you not to do it
are doing the same thing that they tell us not to do.
Yeah.
So lead by example, right? Or even give me a blueprint to tell me why I shouldn't
do that.
But they never go into the details and say, well, when you copulate, it's a sacred experience.
It's a sacred experience.
You know, and you are actually opening up a womb, your womb space, the space of creation in which all us beautiful queens, powerful, we are able to manifest from. But if you allow access to that, it weighs us down, and then it starts to create other things in our life. Yes, accumulation of stress, drama, and everything else. So I think it goes back to all of that in our life. Definitely. And being able to peel back the layers.
Ooh, layers.
Yeah,
That's
peel back
right.
the getting to the core.
The process of elimination.
Yes.
And
Detaching.
Detaching. Like you said,
Detaching.
unlearning
Yes.
is a form of detaching from what we've learned in either religion, from what we've seen our parents do.
Yes.
You know, and that's why I love the work that you guys do. And I know you work with younger women, older women, you know, all
Women
women.
and girls.
But I love that we are giving back to teach. Like you said, you think there should be some, like this woman of passage. You know, this rites of passage for the world.
Yes.
I truly believe that too. And I love that we gotta, y'all, please stop making women, please stop trying to make women feel bad about their sexuality and sensuality and the decisions they make, even if they choose to be poly, if they choose to date multiple men, have sex with multiple men. Some women, actually a
we
lot
all
of
deserve
women
experience these.
can handle it.
Listen.
Just because it don't work.
But everybody's going to have their own experience anyway.
Yes.
And I don't believe in forcing beliefs.
At all.
I don't
either.
We come from all different maybe backgrounds. But whatever you deem necessary for you, I'm not going to judge that. Whatever you deem necessary for you, I'm not going to judge that. And I believe that's where sisterhood comes in. That we respect each other for our individuality. And what I was going to
have
say,
that true love.
and have the true
love.
True love.
Yes.
Right? Says, I don't judge you, sister. If that's what you do, I may not like it. I may not agree with it, but I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to support you in your endeavors. I'm not going to bail out on you because you do something in your lifestyle different than what I do. Right? That's not true sisterhood. That's judgment. Right? That's judgment. But I want to give you 3 letters, and it's ACT, right? ACT. And that is authenticity, confidence, and tenacity. And that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm learning. Authenticity. We're action takers, right?
Yes.
As leaders and thought leaders, we're action takers, and we teach our people to take action. But to me, that act right now in this season is to make sure that I'm being authentic so that I can attract authentic people.
Yes.
I am taking my confidence to a level it's never been before, and I've always been confident. But I'm going to a place of confidence that is going to attract other confident people like you and like you. And then the tenacity, I'm determined. I'm not going to give up on every step of the process and the journey. Because some of our women quit. Some of our women,
and they be right there.
Those are chains.
And sometimes women, we quit on each other.
We quit on each other. That's big. That's big.
So what do you guys think we can do to eliminate or soften that of women, you know, quitting on each other with the judgment, with the, you know what I'm saying?
More encouraging, more and supportive to one another.
And
realizing that we all got the same damn story.
Perspective. You got to stop looking through tainted lenses.
But one thing is that so many women suffer with jealousy, envy, hatred, and it's right here. So until they actually cleanse and heal themselves, then of course that continues to spill over. So once we truly get, like you were saying, back in touch with ourselves, then we'll be able to, because I had a problem where I'm like, I don't deal with other women. I can't stand it. I don't trust them, you know, but I had to realize for me, that was,
it to a certain degree. I don't know if it's like not trusting women. It's just me. I don't trust people.
Yes.
And I think it's because of the way I was brought up and the things that I went through coming up in the streets, and everybody's always out for themselves. So it's hard for me to break and release that chain, but I'm definitely working on it. Like, it's one of those things, you know, you're a work in progress. I'm definitely working on it. So what advice do you have for me, honey?
Well, the most that I can tell you from my experience is realizing that everybody is not going to be where I am. Okay. And I got to love you for where you are.
Yeah.
Even if it's somewhere or you may come into contact with someone that's more, they present as more superior, love them from there.
Absolutely.
Take, whatever you can in that relationship.
Meet me where I'm at, sis.
Meet me where I'm at.
Yeah, and love me there. I have to work on that. And that's so good, because I always feel like, because I'm such a go-getter, I'm so determined, and I feel like everybody should be there. But I'm like, wait a minute, no. Because everybody's at a different stage. They'll get there, and I gotta love them where they are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So let's take another break, and then we're gonna come back and close out. So you guys stay right there.
No more chains holding me.
She's a CEO is the ultimate family card game and also an educational business toolkit for seasoned and aspiring entrepreneurs. It's fun, it's challenging, it's educational. Get some knowledge and pay some homage. There are a few ways to play for the most enjoyment and benefit. Play your favorite card games: spades, gin, poker, bid whist, or whatever your family loves to play. Are you ready to be mentally challenged in a fun way? Play our signature BizWiz business development matchup card game. The objective is to collect the most customers correctly, based on matched business development statements we've created for you. Each week, research one of the noted entrepreneurs we've celebrated in the deck by pulling 1 or 2 random cards from the deck. Use the cards for daily, weekly, or occasional inspiration. Read their stories and learn more about the chains they've had to release to create long-term success and a legacy that will last forever. She's a CEO, a SheEO. Visit she'sasheo.biz to order your official business educational card deck today.
So I want you to share with us how we can connect with you for our healing, the products and services that you offer. Share with us. I want to share with the people.
Okay, so you can reach me, of course, at www.supremenaturals.com. And I want to share something about that. It's because a lot of people say, well, why do you put a Z on naturals as opposed to S? The reason why I put a Z is because from A to Z, we kind of touch in everything in between there. So at the end, at the alphabet, the letter Z is there. So I said, with Supreme Naturals, I want to make sure that we're providing the best of quality of services and also products for our clients to the end of Z. So Supreme Naturals with a Z.com, or you can reach me at support@supremenaturals.com, or you can contact us at 443-694-1448.
I love it.
On all social media platforms, the Supreme Naturals.
Awesome. We'll put that stuff on as well. And so what about you and the services that you offer for women in building their confidence and their self-awareness and their self-improvement, all this stuff about self? Where can we connect with you at?
You can connect with me at www.nameicaspeaks.com, and that's NAMEICA. I am at Nameica Speaks on all social media platforms, and you can also call me if you want to at 470-213-1438. I'm very accessible, very responsive, and I like connecting with people on relationship levels, so I'm easy to reach.
Awesome. So do you guys have any closing words? Maybe when you kind of, before when we started, I always ask my guests to set an intention. Would you like to share your intention? Or if not, is there any closing words you have for the women who are listening that are, like, wow, I need to contact these ladies. Who you want to close with?
Okay, so I do. And the reason being is because as queens, my thing is to always be able to touch other women, to make them better or usher them into that space so that they can transform their life and make them better than they were when they came to meet me or even in the presence of myself. So that being said, because women are usually the foundation of families and everything pretty much, it's important to be able to usher them into healing.
Yes.
So what I would say is that wherever you are in your life, never give up hope. Continue to press forward and always, always seek out to be a better version of yourself without having to externalize your power, but going within yourself so that you can truly heal, you can truly grow, and you can manifest all your desires from that womb space of creation.
Yes, because the womb space is creation.
Yes.
That is so good. And it's such a great reminder because we forget. We forget that women, we are creative. That's why I believe, the creator, the source is female.
Yes,
and that's
we
a
are.
whole nother topic. Talking about, won't he do it? Won't she do it? Won't you do it? But that's a whole nother topic. I have to bring y'all back and we discuss that. And I know you're going through your journey of self-discovery and releasing some religious things, some traditions that we were taught. And that's powerful. I went to that in 2013. And it was such a revelation for me. I really found out who I was instead of following what somebody told me I was. And it makes a difference. I'm telling you, I have never felt, talking about release and change, I have never felt more free because now I'm tapped in. Not even tapping in. I have fully released that chain and I'm just here with you to support you through that journey because everybody goes through it at different times in their lives. But I'm seeing it more people. We're not saying you don't have to be religious. We're not telling you not to be Christian or not to be Buddhist or not to be Jehovah's Witnesses. We're not saying that. We're saying that you don't have to take on what somebody forced in your life to discover what works for you. And if what was forced works, it works. And sit in that power and appreciate and love it. But if it feels a little off, go ahead and tap into what works for you. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. So what's your final word?
My final words to everyone would be to address and stop suppressing, to dive deep within and don't be afraid of your wounds. Don't be afraid of who you are because that's a part of who you are. And it's just like a bandage over a sore. It has to heal. You have to take the bandage off. And Girl Affirm Yourself is not just about speaking words of positivity and affirmation. It's a state of being. Affirming ourselves on such a level that says, I not only know who I am, I accept who I am. I accept the flaws. I accept what's good. I accept what needs to be improved. And I'm going to take accountability and responsibility in making sure that I improve those so that I can operate in the highest form of authenticity possible so that I can attract the people into my life. You want to attract people into your life that are going to help elevate you and enhance you, not continue to rub the wound, right? So those are my intentions, to help women make sure that you dig deep within and accept who you are, every form of who you are, and change what needs to be changed.
I love it. Release those chains. So I know this all came about because of that post I made. And social media is so powerful.
Yes, it is.
I've met some truly amazing people from social media, like truly amazing. And that's because I'm vocal, I show up authentic. And because of that, and I know when you shared your hair loss journey, I'm sure you're attracting so many dynamics. Because when you fully release that
It was a mask.
Yeah. And fully step into your power with cuss words and all, then you attract authentic people into your life. And so I show up, people like, dang, are you the same person online that you are in person? And everybody can say that.
true.
And I can't stand when I meet people in person and they're not who they
different.
are.
Yes.
But I get it. We're brands and we have to, I get it. But there's a certain way you can level that out. Okay.
Yes.
And I've been
More
able to
so of
master that.
staples.
Yes.
I said more so of staples.
Yes, there you go. There you go. So I started this because I just shared a story about my friend who I was concerned about because that's my homeboy. And I want him to, him and his wife to get their stuff together. So after that, I shared with him, I told him to go to my Facebook page and read what's going on. And he has got help. Him and his wife are seeking therapy.
Awesome.
He said that they've had sex 3 more times.
Working
I'm saying it. So that's pretty good. That was only about 2 months ago.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
pretty good. That I made
Can I
that
say one more
so yeah, we're not going to let me finish this.
Okay.
And then we're not done all the way. So I'm so excited for him. So I want to share with anyone who is in that space of losing their intimacy, not tapped into their sexuality. Do a self-evaluation. Find out what's happening. You talk about affirmations. We talked about journaling. We talked about meditation. We talked about steaming. We talked about smoking weed. Whatever is going to work for you, do it. Because you have to. Something's not right, and that's what we all shared on the page, on the thread. It was like 200 something comments. Is because something is not right. It's not normal.
Right.
So do a self-evaluation. Seek therapy like my friend and his wife are doing. I'm so happy for them because they truly love each other. But there was something going on. So that's my advice to kind of wrap that up as a final word. Tap into who you are and get some help. Let somebody from the outside come in and do some evaluation with you as well. So what did you want to say?
I just wanted to say my words of advice would also to be open. Be open-minded. I've had the experience where the spouse wasn't open-minded and things became routine. So when they become routine,
boring.
Yes.
You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not being open-minded could also be an issue.
That's good. That's really good. I'm glad you said that.
Add in the spice.
Yes. I tell my husband, look, you need to continue to do what you did to get me, right?
Yes.
Continue that so that we
add
can
a
keep that
little
flame.
more.
Yeah.
But you have to, if you've been married for 30, the depot looper is kicking in now. If you've been married for 30-something years, each person has evolved in some areas.
There you go. Yeah.
And as we should.
Yeah.
Each person every year is not supposed to be the same person as they were the previous year. So imagine,
Yeah, because I'm always finding new ways. Because we are evolving, I'm always finding new ways to love him all over again. Because he is evolving. I'm evolving. You're not supposed to stay the same.
You're not supposed to stay the
You're not
same.
supposed to stay the same, but you do have to work together. But I keep a bag of tricks.
I know
I'm
that's
like,
right.
ladies, don't let all your tricks out at the beginning. You gotta save some tricks.
Gradually.
Yes, honey. Okay. But I want to
Keep
thank
the
you
tricks in the
guys.
bag.
Yeah.
No, take the tricks out the bag.
Yeah, you gotta take them out, but not all at once.
All at once.
You don't want to press them all at
Don't overwhelm them.
Be spontaneous.
Yes. So I want to thank you, ladies, so much for joining me and
Thank you
being
for
open
having
and
me.
being honest, because these are the conversations that we need to have. And this was my purpose. You asked me, "What's your purpose for? What's all this about? This release to change. What is all this about?" And I gave her the long story, but this is what it's about.
I
This
love
is
it.
what
I love it
releasing the
too.
change is
It's an honor to be
Absolutely.
here. Thank you.
Truly
guys
is.
so
Gratitude.
much. Thank you guys so much. So you guys can follow us on Instagram on our Release the Change page. You can also follow me all across the board at Ari Squires Speaks. Please please comment.
Yes.
Share your aha
Let us know.
moments. Let us
We
know
wanna
what you
hear.
got from this. Let us know what your homework is. Let us know what difference this is going to make in your life, or what you wanted to make, what you're going to manifest. Please share, please subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.
No more chains holding me